Sips, I have to ask you, are you going somewhere today? There's an awful lot going on.
Okay, so here's the deal. I watched Bling Empire on Netflix. I binge watched it. And then I looked inside my closet and I was like, you know what? There are so many fancy clothes of mine that I haven't worn, and I was just so inspired to do it. And I had to wear something really bling and jazzy when we're reviewing Bling Empire.
Okay, yes, I have to admit, definitely thought the same for Bling Empire. Guys, this is the reality show which you will surprisingly fall in love with these characters. They're super funny, and I don't know, Sips, why did you make the face?
I'm not so sure. I think love is a bit stretching it.
I love them.
I think the word entertained is more like it for me, but we have our own views.
No, you're right. They're super, super entertaining. There's this surprisingly likable group of friends who just happen to be billionaires. And we follow them around their crazy rich Asian lifestyle in LA. I just have to give you guys one example for those of you who have not seen this show, an example of the craziness you're about to witness. There's a character called Christine, and she has this miracle baby of hers called Baby G. And it's Baby G's first birthday party. And what does she have at the party? They're not like, those silly balls that you jump in and stuff. No, she has a Gucci claw machine at the party. Sips, who has a Gucci claw machine at their 1-year-old's birthday party? Yeah, and this Christine character, she's striving to be the queen bee, but there's another queen bee, and that's Anna Shay.
Who I love. By the way,
I really like Anna Shay. I mean,
the original.
She's kind of the person who sets the tone for everything, right? She's the one who's throwing like spa days and but she's a lot more down to earth than Christine, who's striving to be queen bee, right? Like she's already seen it all. Don't you feel like that?
Yeah, I think in that, to me, what really strikes out is, and I think we see it all over the world, right? The people that are born into money versus people who have come into it or married into it, the nouveau rich in the sense, right?
Yeah.
And how for them, displaying their wealth and talking about their wealth is being wealthy versus people who've had it all their lives. And for them, it doesn't really matter whether, you have like billions of dollars or taking your friends across the globe just for their birthday.
Yeah, Anna Shay does that. Anna Shay tells her friend Kelly that, you know what, we're gonna go out to my favorite restaurant for your birthday. Her favorite restaurant is in Paris.
Yeah.
So they're on a flight to Paris so she can take Kelly out for her birthday. Subs, where are these kinds of friends?
I mean, again.
Okay, so actually the show is kind of through the eyes of Kevin, who is normal. He's like us, everyday person, and his story.
Well, every day, but his best friends are.
Yes, his best friends are the billionaires. He's a model in LA.
It's really hard to flex your abs all day long. You have to hold your breath.
And he happens to like somebody in the friend group, which is Kelly.
My friends, they're a little kooky, but they mean well. They have the whole world at their disposal. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is real. Thank you, Jesus!
And his best friend is this guy, Kane, who, for me, in my head, we're best friends because I love Kane. He's so funny. He's from Singapore, and he is just hilarious.
Asians are here! Just go shopping. That's the best therapy.
And Kelly, I think she is a self-made woman. She was someone who was married to someone super, super rich. And then one day it was all taken away from them because he was basically, I think, a scam artist, right? And he was arrested and taken away. And so she goes back and becomes this entrepreneur on her own merit. And she builds her own empire. And she's great, except for one little thing.
I only want to date for love. I'm so tired of other people's judgment.
So she has this boyfriend called Andrew. He's a bit of a dodgy character. Nobody really understands why she's with him, and all her friends are really rooting for the two of them to break up.
Andrew the Power Ranger. He was a Power Ranger. So she's with the Power Ranger guy, who actually at first seems really nice and sweet, but then
Yeah, he has a lot of issues and a lot of baggage that he brings into the relationship, which kind of causes it to be really rocky at times. Well, most of the times.
yeah, he's got a volatile personality in the end, but
So as we said earlier, we have Christine, who is Baby G's mother. So she's married to a really, really successful plastic surgeon in LA.
oops, but he's not just a plastic surgeon. He's also part of the Song dynasty.
In China, my husband's father would be an emperor and Baby G would be a little prince. Kind of need your help. Did you bring Botox?
Yes. And I think his main contribution is making sure that all the men and women are really, really filled up with Botox. Like the one thing that just stood out to me while watching this is, oh my God, the amount of Botox. Like there isn't a single character who probably has not been injected.
Or nose jobs, or
I mean, there is just
wait, what was the party? Christine throws a keep it tight party, right? Or something.
Yeah, like everything. Like, okay, I understand everyone's Botox and all, but this I think was a bit much. Like you have the Kardashians and now you have these guys. Like it was just a bit much to me.
But I think what's the difference is that we're seeing it through the eyes of Kevin. So there's a lot of kind of fun and laughter too, along with him when he's experiencing these things.
Kim Lee is a super famous DJ.
You got it, Flan.
Then we have DJ Kim, who is actually very pretty according to me.
Yeah, stunning DJ Kim.
Yeah, stunning DJ, is doing really, really well, very popular in Asia. She has her own issues. She's trying to find her biological father. When her parents separated, she decided to live with her mother at age 8, and she hasn't seen or spoken to her father since. Yeah. But you also see that, while she's going through all of that, she also has a very I don't give a damn, a spoiled brat attitude at times, which I think she turns around towards the end.
Yeah, she gets into, she kind of has this character arc going. And that's another thing I wanted to say. Like, this is why I actually really like this reality show, is because there are they're bringing in some important themes going on. Kevin happens to be adopted. He was adopted from Korea. By an American family, and kind of his want to find out who his biological parents are without disrespecting his American parents. So I think even though that they're fun and they're a little crazy, they have really kind of interesting issues going on, because I know we were poking fun at Christine. But do you remember when Christine her husband kind of pressurizes her to have another baby after a 10-year struggle to have one baby? And she gets so worked up, and in the end, we find out something really shocking, which I'm not going to tell you guys about her storyline.
There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, and she talks about how she was kind of ill-treated by her husband's family, because according to them, and that her sole purpose in life after getting married is to produce a sole heir. And because she couldn't do it, the family really looked down upon her. They made her sit at the children's table at family events and things like that. So that was really heartbreaking. Yeah, really heartbreaking.
Things, right? Like, that are ingrained in our culture. Here we're talking about Asian cultures. And I think in all of that, we know it too in our own culture, right? In our Indian culture. So many things that are actually so wrong, but we don't really think about how we're contributing to keep them going today.
Absolutely.
And the same thing in Christine's storyline.
Yeah, and I want to jump to another story related to Christine to kind of just juxtapose the differences, is Sherry.
Mm-hmm.
Cherie's heirs to huge denim empire.
So, Nina, I just want to jump over from Christine and talk about Sherry and Jesse. You see them as a young couple that are not married. They're billionaires in their own right through their family businesses that they have inherited. They have a 4-year-old daughter together, and they're expecting their second child. And they're not even engaged. And that's something that just does not happen, or it's not a norm in the Asian culture. Yeah. And how she's kind of struggling because she's yearning for Jesse to proposed to her.
It's weird because she has such a soft, kind of demure, and she's like very, she's kind of in a sad position only because her mom just passed away. But the one thing that surprises me about, like, regardless of having all of this stuff, she maintains this softness to her, which is so nice and kind of in contrast to the other characters we see.
Yeah.
And I just love that about her. Yeah.
Really,
And I do love what she ends up doing. She's definitely, beating all taboos. I won't say what she does in the end, but you guys have to watch. I think all the characters have such an interesting storyline going, which is why I am really hoping they come out with season 2 soon, because I had so much fun watching it. Even all the outfits and everything, like, it was just so much fun to watch, because I think for me, this really was what I imagined Fabulous to be. So,
yeah, I think great point of reference. What I missed in Fabulous Lives was the fact that they kind of went over all the really important things in their lives. But in this,
right?
Yeah. They just brushed over it. They didn't delve deep into it. But in this show, however glitzy and glamorous it is, and you have Cartier and Hermes and Dior just literally dripping from, like, and diamonds just like drip, 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 drip all over the place. But every character had something very real that you could relate to, whether it's, like living life according to others and then eventually realizing that, look, you have one life to live. This is not a dress rehearsal. You live it the way you want to and be completely unapologetic about it. Or you're fighting with getting to know who you really are because you were adopted, by a completely different in a different culture.
Yeah.
There are just so many layers to this, and they've done a really good job talking about it. You know about everyone's insecurities, and they don't ridicule anyone for their insecurities. So I think a lot more didn't work for me than it did for Nina. But the one thing that just didn't work for me is that, while they're talking about whether it's Kelly and how she's self-made after, all the things that her ex-husband put her through, you still never see her one day at work. I did not see any of these people actually at work.
Well, we see Andrew at work. Ironically, we see Andrew at work.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, okay, so a lot of them are trust fund babies. For sure, they're all trust fund babies. But like, you just don't see, like, even them doing like an iota of work, or for even that matter, like Christine's husband, you see him in these like silk pajamas or whatever it is, like ready to, like,
those pajamas everywhere, even to their tight, what is it called? Keep it tight party. I was like, why just to choose still in pajamas?
And like, while his wife is in this like pink,
all glammed out, but the husband,
leather, latex, I don't know what the hell it is, outfit and stuff like that. And like, after giving birth, she's still like a size like 000. I think they've invented a new size. So I think one of my favorite scenes in the show was when Kevin's adopted mother comes to visit him for his birthday, and he introduces her to his crush, Kelly. And she looks at Kelly and she goes, "Oh, no, you don't have childbearing hips," or something to that extent, like, kind of saying like how tiny she is. And she's like, "You can't have a baby because you're just too tiny."
It was really funny because I just thought in my mind, I'm like, that's such an Asian comment to pass. And she's actually an American, the mom.
Yeah, and you see like Kevin's like,
somewhere
I never talk like this.
I know. But guys, can we just talk about Kane's wall of shoes first of all? He has a $365,000 shoe wall, which is just his favorite shoes on this wall.
And how he's struggling to find place on it.
Yes, and how he's struggling. The struggle is real, guys, okay?
Like first world problems, right?
Okay, that goes way beyond first world problems. The problems of the super, 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 super rich.
So, this show has everything that it promises. It has or like you name your designers, you've got it. You've got great fashion, you've got jewelry, clothes, cat fights, you've got people with multiple layers, you've got great music. Like I really like the soundtrack. You see how, interpersonal skills, people with relationship issues, like you see all of it in Bling Empire.
But I think
It's
bottom line, were you not totally entertained?
Yeah, that's what that's what I was coming to. That this is not a show that I'd be able to watch one episode a day for over a week, or once a week kind of a thing. This is a show that if I had not binged watched, I don't think I would have been able to watch it at all.
Just going back to the Fabulous Lives, right? I get that, how you had opened our last review and saying that, we don't really or their husbands aren't as active in Bollywood anymore, so why are they calling it that? But the thing is that had they had really strong storylines going, like we don't know any of these characters, but you end up I ended up loving them because they show so much of like themselves. They share so much of themselves, which I think is weird because I thought that my first thought was that maybe it's a cultural thing because, I think for Indian people to air out their dirty laundry, it's obviously looked down upon, and oversharing, their lives, I guess, right? So I felt maybe there was too much that was kind of hidden from the audience. We're here, they do share so much, right?
Yeah.
So for me, guys, if you love this kind of stuff, it's a 2 thumbs up from my side.
If you don't really have anything much to do and you want to watch something that's just going on without really, applying yourself, definitely do go watch
it is funny, Subs. Do not lie. It made you laugh, didn't it? It made you laugh. It is funny. I think it had some really good, funny, light moments. So I would definitely recommend this for anybody who loves reality television like me. For sure, I'd recommend it. So guys, who was your favorite character? Tell us in the comment section below. For me, I picture myself as best friends with Kane. I just loved his character.
I also want to know that, did you agree with me more or did you agree with Nina? Let's see how many votes do we get, Means, on this.
Okay, Sips, thanks for pitting us against each other. Anyways, all right, guys. So let us know what you thought, and hopefully you'll love the show as much as I did.
Until next time.
Bye, guys.